at the Chalke Valley History Festival in Wiltshire to see a display of the Sherman tank, Lily Marlene. The Sherman was the backbone of US armored forces and is considered one of the best tanks of World War II. It was a multi-purpose and extremely versatile tank. It was only surpassed by the Soviet T-34 tank in respect of the numbers made and the length of active service. Sherman was the name given to all of the tanks made in the M4 medium tank series. The variants were mainly due to the different engine types that were fitted in the Sherman. The key points that made the Sherman so popular were that it was very reliable, cheap to manufacture, and built so that it could be easily repaired in the field. The Sherman was based on the M3 tank, but addressed several of its flaws, making improvements to the tank's mobility, firepower, and ergonomics. The major improvement made was moving the main gun into a fully traversing turret, located at the center of the vehicle. A gyro stabilizer was also added, which allowed the crew to fire at targets with greater accuracy. The stabilizer didn't allow for accurate firing while in motion, but it did help to keep the gun roughly aimed at the target when the tank came to a stop. Although crude by today's standards, it did help to greatly improve the tank's effectiveness in combat. In the early part of the war, the Sherman was very effective in action against the Germans' light and medium tanks, as the 75mm gun and its superior armor gave it an advantage. In the latter stages of the war, the Sherman was outclassed in firepower and armor by increasing numbers of German medium and heavy tanks like the Tiger and Panther. The M4A2 features a slab-sided welded hull. It has a 75mm gun, M3. The Sherman was crewed by a team of 4 to 5 men. The tank weighed over 34 tons and had a maximum range of 100 miles.
So Steve mentioned the high profile. If you look at the Sherman side on now, imagine many of you will be familiar with Market Garden, where the garden phase 30 core trying to get up those high banked Dutch roads. It's like ducks in a gallery to the German anti-tank gunners. There was a dream come true. And both tanks fairly vulnerable from a side-on flank shot, particularly the Sherman, even when they were up armoured. And quite clean example again. Even when they try to put extra armour, links of track, etc., it's just not going to stop that. And if you're closed down from artillery fire, then infantry are going to get close to you. But quality of life in an armoured vehicle, there is that luxury of hot water usually, and heat. Not so good on a day like today, but certainly good in the winter. So signature is an interesting thing. I think in modern warfare we worry about heat, but in these days they're worried about noise and smoke. So a smoking engine is a fact, and the signature of the gun when it fires as well. Again, noise and smoke. And T-34's tanks can deliberately make smoke with the fuel mix, so they can create a smoke screen.
Tends to get overshadowed a little bit by a bunch of stones next to a controversial road a bit further north.
Intimidate people with sheer noise, dust, smoke of tanks on the move. That's what T-34 looks like on the move. That suspension is copied off an American design twisted suspension which the Brits use as well, no cruiser tanks. See there's the rolling suspension and tracks are very different. And of course the Sherman is the first tank in the world to have rubber pads on its tracks. And that reduces that track noise. Look at the smoke of that T-34. And also reduces friction on the tracks.
During the war, tens of thousands were distributed through President Roosevelt's Lend-Lease Act, which loaned American-made tanks to Britain and the Allies. The M4 Sherman was used across various theaters of combat, and it was key to the success of several offensives, including the Allied landings in North Africa and the subsequent campaigns in Italy and France. The Sherman had maximum speed of 25 miles per hour on roads and 20 miles per hour across country. The M4 Sherman remains one of the most iconic tanks in military history, symbolizing the industrial might and innovation of the United States during the Second World War. After World War II, the Sherman continued to see combat service in many conflicts around the world, including Korea and Vietnam. Thank you for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe, and leave a comment.